Another thing with the state of hunters, people are like talk about our survivability being really bad. Do you guys feel our survivability is like terrible?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's probably the worst in the game right now. But with the new deterrents that they released in the patch notes, it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah. We're about to talk to Patch soon. What are you going to say to Section? Go ahead. You've been kind of quiet.
I don't know. Another thing, like on traps, I think the trap resist rate is like pretty poor.
God, yes.
Yeah, we'll talk about bugs, but yeah.
Because spell pen doesn't work on traps, so you have 220 or whatever the top is, and they still resist.
Yeah, I feel it's ridiculous. I have 220 spell pen, and then, I mean, you think that'd be kind of an easy change for them, you know? Like, that doesn't seem like a bug that should be hard to change. I understand some of the bugs can be pretty difficult, like coding or whatever, but this one seems easier.
And it's been in the game for, forever.
It's been reported forever, too.
I'm pretty sure they know it's there. Yet they fixed the double aspect bug recently, today.
Yeah, it isn't live anymore.
Trap launcher, good spell. You guys got to use it more often. Use the glyph. Don't use Raptor Strike.
Yeah, I'm pretty much agreeing with Squinky on this one too.
Using 20% of your focus on trap launcher is not a good idea. But maybe Blizzard needs to change it down to 10 and then make the glyph trap launchers free, but you need trap launcher glyph to save your focus.
I think a glyph that they need to implement is a glyph for deterrence that, when used, removes all dots.
Yes, that'd be good.
That would be good. Or make it just the deterrence now where you go immune to all damage, including dots on you. Yeah. Because dying to dots when you're trying to deterrence a line of sight is just kind of stupid when you're using a protection mechanic.
Yeah, that would help her survivability a lot.
Maybe a little bit of a self-heal as well, incorporate into that. Since every other class seems to have one.
Yeah, that'd be true.
Oh, here's another glyph they should implement. What do you guys think about putting scatter removes all dots or all stuff like that?
Be cool, but
I say scatter trap, or I say on scatter, not trap, because we have to use 2 globals to trap. We can't just use our trap. We have to use scatter first, or like.
And if we're using trap launcher, it's 3 clicks. You know.
It's a lot of clicks. It is.
Yeah, you got to use scatter shot, trap launcher, then throw the trap. And the radius is smaller now, so it's pretty easy to miss, honestly.
Yeah, I missed a couple of them.
I mean, it happens. I've missed a few, too. Like, it seems a lot smaller than normal.
Yep.
And I don't know if you guys noticed this at all, but does scatter seem to move them a lot more than usual?
It's the pathing it takes, it seems a lot more random. Before, like, where I throw my trap, it seemed like it was always this set path they go, so I don't know if I'm just not used to that or if they actually changed that, but it seems a lot more random than it used to be.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that glyph would be good. At the same time, I mean, the only reason I'd really want that is if, like, Snake Trap. Snake Trap's the most annoying thing when it puts up those 5 poisons on the healer, and I can't CC because all our CC...
Maybe a glyph to remove the Snake Trap itself is good, but maybe a glyph to remove the deadly poison.
Yeah, Snake Trap should get rid of deadly poison, but put out more the crippling, which never seems to proc, and mind numbing.
And the mind numbing, yep.
Yeah, it should make them just those if you want. Make that a minor glyph.
I think also a good hunter buff they could do would be given the snakes, I'd say about 2,000 health.
Yeah, I know you're
they still have what, 290 or 190?
It's
they get one-shotted. I mean, yeah.
One-shotted. Even with the glyph nowadays, they still get one-shotted. So I think giving them, 1,000, maybe 1,500 health with the glyph, it'd actually make it useful. And that would probably, since there's no more cleansing totem, Snake Trap is... I use Snake Trap a lot in Arena, just to proc entrapment, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'd use it. Like, really.
Yeah, but even then, when the snakes get up, I mean, we've all had the famous snakes go on the healer, and you want to scatter them, but you can't.
Yep. It's very annoying.
That, I think, the scatter glyph that Squinky brought up would be great, but, I mean, we're just...
People have also brought up the point, though, with that, and I think, isn't there a blind glyph that does the same?
Yeah, there's a blind glyph
and a polyglyph.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the people I brought up to that, and I mean, if this is the point they're going to use for the scatter one, I think they changed the other ones, but it does lower the skill level. You know, you don't have to watch for that. But at the same time, the snake trap's really annoying because we want to use that for the root, which we need. But yeah, people say it does kind of lower down the skill.
It lowers the skill cap, but
it's a needed change.
We need something
really
because look at the representation again.
Yeah, but I mean, is that really gonna do anything?
I think so. Yeah, I think so because then we could create even with my comp.
Yes.
When my DK puts pummels a healer, or whatever.
Chains of Ice.
I can't trap him. Chains of Ice him. I can't trap him for a good minute. And that's saying, reducing the skill cap, but to me it's saying it's improving the skill cap so we can do more switches. Because currently, right now, it's, okay, tunnel the DPS so I can CC.
Yeah, it is. Right now, I think the game is really encouraging on tunneling. Like, a lot of targets are so bad. It's like, I get a Warlock team, and unless I'm playing with, like, a Death Knight, I can't go on them. Dissection, like, when you fight Warlock, can you, with an Enhanced Shaman, kill Warlocks pretty good, or not?
Not really. Like, it's just, it's really difficult. I mean, we usually find ourselves just tunneling mages like most of the game just because of the damage they output.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough.
That's another thing I want to bring up too, traps still break on damage, yet mages get an AoE frost trap that doesn't break on damage.
Yeah, that's
which we could all see in my YouTube clip. I jump into it to DR Poly and I have a warrior beating on me and that thing doesn't break for ages.
I wouldn't bring that up if I were you there, Swanky.
It was a good idea in theory.
Yeah. So another thing about the state of hunters is our damage, but I'd say our normal damage at the end of the games is kind of alright, but it's our burst,
We have no burst, we have constant damage, which maybe Marks will fix these new buffs.
We'll have to see
you
though.
might want to go Marks. With
but is that how you guys feel about our damage? We're just pretty decent, consistent, but I mean, when it comes down, that's not how you're going to kill.
But not burst.
It's constant damage with no burst, like everyone else is saying,
Yeah.
Which I can see is alright, but I mean, they need to add something for hunters so we can get some type of damage.
I mean, our one offensive cooldown besides trinkets is rapid fire, and that's 5-minute cooldown.
I mean, I'm sure you do this too, but I macro rapid fire into the trinket.
The trinket? Yeah, I do. But
that's the only time that we do respectable damage.
Yeah, and after I pop that, it seems like, I'm not doing anything to really get the kill besides trapping.
Yeah.
That's why I use freezing trap a lot, just to CC him, because I need the full 10 seconds.
Yeah,
plus the pre-CC to
and then a guaranteed lock and load, because throwing down the frost trap and not getting lock and load, ever.
We start talking about bugs yet.
Alright.
Guaranteed.
This frost trap not proccing lock and load 100% of the time has been around for a while too. There's a lot of hunter bugs that they don't fix unless they help our class.
Yeah.
Then they get fixed in a week.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Or if it affects PvE.
Yeah.
Bug affects PvE, they'll fix it right away. But
so I mean, all right, let's talk about the patch because they actually just released the notes today, which is great. I mean, let's talk about the deterrent. I really like the patch so far. What they've said, deterrent's not you can't parry. It's not like you get parried anymore, so you can't get cheap shot through it or disarmed out of it. So I mean, that's huge. I mean, how many times have you try to deter and a dance rogue just nope, or you just get vanished on, or I've got
overpowered through, or badge.
All these moves just go through it. It's ridiculous. But I mean,
usable all disarms, also nice.
It's going to be huge for our survivability. Don't you agree? I mean, you can't say it isn't because it's just a good change, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely very good for rogues.
Yeah.
I don't know, with the flare change in Kata, it's extremely hard to get a rogue out.
Yeah.
Why did they change it? Because the flare goes so slow now.
I mean, even
if you can't get out a rogue until it lands.
Rogues get immunity when they vanish now too. So.
Oh, I know. I used to love hitting rogues out of stealth. It's pretty.
It's pretty
bad,
fun.
Flare also, like, it's been changed so many times. Like, they put a longer cooldown on it. They made the radius smaller. We can get sapped and being in the very middle of it. You know, like, you could be in the middle of the flare, like, as perfect as possible, and you can still get sapped.
Yeah, I've seen that from partners.
I think that is ridiculous, but they do usually get hit out when they try to do that, at least.
The only point for flare now is just, you know, so they can't get on your healer, I guess.
Yeah. And then the flare bug, where you flare then the LOS and it doesn't work. That's pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know if they fixed that or if going to.
No,
but that's pretty crazy.
I'll test that right now.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's not fixed. I just tested it.
All right. So a huge buff for us is they lowered Master's Call down to 35 seconds from a minute. I mean, that's
with the duration and the glyph.
Yeah.
It's actually like a 20. I think it's like 26 cooldown. So, I mean, if you're playing with a Petly, that means you're only gonna have like 15 seconds of downtime.
Yeah, and then you got, you know, disengage, whatever else, peels from your teammates. Just,
exactly.
You know, in a little downtime, like you're gonna entrapments, frost. You know, you got so much. It's gonna help us so much, and I mean,
I think it's a great change.
And then another big thing with like our mobility being increased by this, Warriors' mobility got decreased, or going to be.
Yeah.
So I mean,
can't charge and intercepts anymore.
That's great for us.
So basically, Warriors sit in battle stance, and then they go to Berserker when they want to hit wreck, and then they spot back.
So I mean, that's great for us. Just big help. And
I mean, I do have an all Warrior. Let's not talk about that.
No, we're not talking about your alt Warrior here. So MM's Marksman's going to receive some buffs for its damage, which is obviously needed. But
they're nerfing.
Do you think that's going to be enough? I don't think so, what they've said. And they haven't said anything about steady.
They need to buff steady shot. I don't know why, or make all the talents use Cobra shot too.
What were you going to say to Section? What do you feel about Marksman?
I mean, I played it a little bit, and it just felt so clunky with the whole build-up for the aim shot.
But yeah, I do agree. And I mean, right now there's no reason that to use, like, I think steady over Cobra.
Yeah.
Even as marks, like, it's ridiculous, and all the talents are for that, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
So, the easiest solution to fix it is just, you know, make Cobra.
Alright.
I think you're good. Yep, you're good. But yeah, like, the easiest solution, just make all those talents usable by Cobra. Like, why force us? You know?
Yeah, I don't know why they're forcing steady shot into that when steady shot is so mediocre. And the only things we get when using steady shot is right now currently a bad aim shot and improved steady shot, and it's just it's not worth it at all.
Yeah,
and that's the real problem with the Marks trios is steady shot. You need to do something about that.
Aim shot is a joke right now. Alright, it costs 50 focus, 3-second cast, and does less damage than Chimera, which is less focus and instant. What a joke.
You're not meant to cast it. You know,
they
supposed to rely on the...
Yeah, I know, the instant, but even then, why would you gotta give up so much damage to do less damage. I mean, it's worthless, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'll try out Marks, but if it's not...
Sorry, it's going to keep going.
I was just going to say, I don't think it's going to be buffed enough where it'll be better than Survival, at least this season.
That's completely with him. They're giving Chimera Shot a 20% damage buff, but, I mean, against my DK, I went over and Chimera Shot him a few days ago, and I was critting him for 9k. And I have pretty much really good gear. Like, I have the best gear you can get. And it's just a sad shot. Increasing it by 20% isn't going to do anything.
No.
They need to give it at least 200 or 300% more damage if they want it to be viable.
Yeah, especially when mages are getting like 20k ice lances, and it's like a slap in the face.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, like explosive shot hits more. They're the same focus. It's survival's got better focus, and you get lock and load, so you get free. You know, explosive shot. So I just don't see the damage ever, or not for a while, comparing. And that's
even explosive shot hits like a little girl.
It does.
Like I crit on